On this one, it's discussing the lifetimes of light bulbs, which are normally distributed with a mean of 350 hours and a standard deviation of 6 hours. Let's do a few of these, for example. First off, it asks for what percentage of light bulbs last between 344 and 356 hours. Well, I've drawn the normal distribution curve to illustrate the numbers we're working with, and in the middle is the mean. The mean is in the middle at 350. With the standard deviation, we add the standard deviation and we subtract the standard deviation. Being that the standard deviation is 6, we'll add a 6 and we'll subtract the 6. If I do that once, it'll add to 356. If I subtract the 6, it'll subtract to 344. If I continue to add, again, 6 to the 356, it would be 362. And if I add it again, it'll add up to 368. If I subtract the 6 from 344, it'll subtract to 338. And if I subtract it again, it'll subtract to 332. So that's what it looks like when we have adding and subtracting the standard deviation 3 times to the mean in the middle. And off to the side, you can see the picture of the 68, 95, 99.7 rule for 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations, and 3 standard deviations. Well, in this case, the 344 and 356 here in the middle, that's 1 standard deviation on each side of the mean. So there is 68% contained between there. For the second one, part 2 of this question, where it asks about the percent that lie between 338 and 362 hours, we can look at the graph again and figure out that this is 338 up to 362. That's 2 standard deviations from the mean on either side. There's 95% contained in between there. So the answer to that is 95%. Now the last one that asks about how many sit between 332 and 368 hours. Well, that means we've gone out further from the middle on either side, all the way out to 3 standard deviations, and it says that there's 99.7% that sit between 3 standard deviations of the mean. So the answer to that is 99.7%. On this one, it says the amount of the monthly phone bill is normally distributed with a mean of $78 and a standard deviation of $10. So the mean again is in the middle, 78 down the middle. And then the standard deviation, let's add the 10 and subtract the 10. If we add 10, it would be 88. If we add it again, it would be 98. And if we add it a third time, it would be 108. If we subtract 10 from 78, it would be 68. Subtract it again, 58. Subtract it again, 48. Now the first one above says, what percent lie on the less than side of $68? Well, let's look at 68 here in the middle and think about what that means. If you look at the picture over at the side, remember 68% is between 1 standard deviation of the mean. With 1 standard deviation of the mean, 68 in the middle, but then that leaves 16% outside on either the left or right side of the 68%. So for the question of less than, Less than is here on the left side. And so we can say that less than $68 would be 16%. Kind of similar to the last one, it might ask about what's greater percent for $98. If you look at the bell curve, 98, we're sitting here between two standard deviations of the mean. And we check how much is in the middle, and there's 95% within two standard deviations of the mean. But that leaves left over 2.5% to be left over on the left side and the right side of the middle. So for greater than, we're looking at everything here on the right side. And that would be 2.5%. So remember, it's all based off of the 68, 95, 99, 7 in the middle. And you can see how much is left over for left or right side, either less than on the left side or greater than on the right side. This one's a little different because it asks about how much is on the less than $98 side. So remember, 98 is here, two standard deviations from the mean. And we were just talking about how there is 95% in the middle here. And there's 2.5% left over on the left side and 2.5% left over on the right side. So if I want to know what's on the less than 98 side, I'm looking at everything on the left of 98. So it'd be all this area here. That percent adds up to how much? In this case, if we want to, we can take the 2.5 and add it together with the 95% in the middle. And we can get how much percent is less than 98. It'd be 97.5%.